I am Donika.
And I am Myra, and this is the Black Women Healing Podcast.
A space to discuss mental wellness.
A space to dive into soul care and vulnerability.
Here, we will support you on your journey as you focus on your healing,
while also giving you the work along the way.
Welcome to Black Women Healing Podcast. Y'all, it's official. We are an Amazon affiliate, and it's only right because our Let's Heal book is offered on Amazon. If you haven't already checked it out, go ahead and click the link in our description and check it out. Help us support you while we support us, while we all support each other, if you know what I'm saying. All right, y'all, check it out. Hey, everybody. We are back with another episode of Black Women Healing Podcast, and we told y'all we was going to try to do more episodes with just Myra and myself, just so we can continue to stay connected as hosts, but also we noticed that it feels more personable sometimes when it's just us two. And so I want to say Myra came up with this topic, which I think is a great one, which is healing outside the therapy room. But before we get started, we're going to do our own random topic. We're going to keep it going like this is a guest. So, Myra, you got something? A random topic that you can think of?
I think you have something.
Look, so, okay. I mean, this is all little work stuff, but I heard you talking about earlier, you've been seeing clients now face to face, and, you know, it sounds like you getting back to whatever normal work life is. How are you, like, is that weird seeing people face? I don't see any clients face to face. Like, what is that like?
It's very weird, and I don't know that I like it. I see clients on Tuesdays, so I see like 3. Well, I only see a family and then one client, but it's supposed to be shifting to more people. But it's very weird seeing people in person. I don't know that I like it either. Like, I have one client where I'm like, this is helpful. Like, she needs to see me in person. And then my 2 little kids, I'm like, that makes sense. But everybody else, I'm like, y'all don't need to see me in person. I like being able to like get up, go to my kitchen in between, do whatever I need to do in between clients. Like, I don't know that once I'm licensed, I'm going to have an office. I don't know that that makes sense. So I'm not enjoying it, to be quite honest. And then thinking about, I got to drive to this place. I got to sit in traffic again. And then now with it being dark, I literally like, being pregnant, I don't know what you call it, but I call it running. It's fast walking, I guess. I'll be moving to my car. I'll be scared, low key. It'd be dark.
No, oh no. Yeah. Adjustment, yeah, I can hear it. Adjustment for sure. Are people like weird towards you? Do people seem awkward? Especially like, because it's a difference. I feel like we've been around, some of us have been around maybe like some family and friends, close family and friends, but like to be around clients and then, you know, talking about personal life, like this intimate setting, do they seem awkward, like off a little bit?
The kids I see in person, I see them at their house. So I feel like when you see people at their house, they be comfortable. So they're good. But they don't feel, it doesn't feel awkward. I am going to be seeing more clients in person this week, and I feel like they're going to be awkward. Well, those experiences are going to be awkward because I'm thinking like these people in particular, they haven't really interacted with a lot of people in person. Yeah. So I'm curious how that's going to go. And I know I could be awkward too. So we'll see. And the setup of my office is kind of weird. Like, it's like really big, but in a weird way. Like, we have a big couch, but then there's like 3 options of seats for me to sit in. I'm like, I don't know where to sit. I'm in front of you. Should I be on the side of you? Like, where am I supposed to sit? So that's also been a struggle because I'm like, how am I supposed to do? And I'm doing EMDR. So it's like, I need to be in front of you, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It's just all been weird. I'm only doing this for 6 more weeks. So maybe 5 if I can make it to
out of here.
Yeah. After that, I'm like, I don't know that I'm gonna do this. But my other clients in my full-time job, they don't want to see people in person because they're like, what if you got something? I don't know what you got. So I'm like, that's cool with me. I'm fine not meeting you. Cool.
Yeah. No, I think for me, like, for sure, okay, maybe I keep saying I'm gonna do it, but I haven't, just because it's so weird having the option not to go to the office. But I keep saying I want to offer at least one day of face-to-face for people who want it and for me to get out of this house. because it is isolating and all of those good things. And it's but then when I'm like thinking about it, it's like, why would I leave? You know? It's a little bit of both, but I don't know. I think and I'm over here imagining like seeing people face to face. You know, it's a lot of tears, crying, snot bubbles and stuff sometimes. And like all of that going on. It's like, do some people be doing sessions with a mask on? Like, do you have your mask on in your session?
Yeah. Oh, you actually just reminded me. I actually do walk-in therapy a little bit now. So I forgot about some clients. We do walk-in therapy. So what we'll do is we'll pick like a place that they want to meet up. It'll have to be like in a park, or we can be spaced out. And I always tell them like we have to have benches and stuff just in case I need to take a break. But I have been doing walk-in therapy, which is pretty cool because I noticed that they're able to help regulate themselves. Like if they are starting to cry or if they become like really flustered. So that's been really helpful. But it is kind of awkward doing it with a mask on because I don't know what's been going on with me lately, but I can't breathe through my mask. Like I don't know. Like I've really been like struggling to breathe. Yeah. And so in some of my sessions, I'd be like, and so, yeah, so it can be a little bit uncomfortable. And then you don't really know what's going on under the mask. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And you gotta remember the Lysol when they leave. Yeah, so it's some moving parts to it.
Yeah. I actually recently heard somebody say that they noticed during the pandemic that they didn't really listen to people, that they read lips. And I never thought about that. Like, you know how sometimes somebody's talking and you kind of don't know, but if you kind of look at their lips, you might kind of pick up a little bit better. And so, like, they struggled. Like, oh my goodness, I read lips, and so now it's a struggle for me to understand what people are saying. I was like, oh.
I cannot read lips to save my life, so I can't relate to that.
Facially, the mask covers up not only the mouth, it just covers it covers up a lot of facial expressions. Like you never really know what somebody is thinking, feeling. Like, are they rolling their eyes at me? Are they angry? Was that a good question? Like, I feel like
I be yawning.
You be what?
But nobody know I be yawning. Because I'm a chronic yawner. Like, I yawn all the time. Oh. But now I don't feel bad. Because usually I'd be, like, trying to catch it. And my eye be, like, doing this thing. But now I just be, like, I'm just letting it out. Because you ain't gonna know I'm yawning. My mouth is covered up. Oh, well. I just got that bad habit of going like that. So I'd be, like, don't move your hand. Just go along with it.
They'll never know.
For real, exactly.
That's interesting, but I don't know yet. I mean, it sounds like you're about to get some rest time. You're about to get a break. So you kind of just pushing through. You don't got that much left as far as like this. I mean, working right now. I mean, checking in with you, like outside of that, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I mean, things are slowing down. I'm feeling like I'm in a better headspace. It's been a rough, I want to say, like month. People have been testing me, and I feel like they've been making me pull out some, anger.
Oh, hell no. Who's making my friend angry? Oh, no.
I won't say no names, but let's just say I feel like I've had to step out of my character a few times, which I don't like.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, I'm practicing a lot of boundaries because I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, no, that's how I've been. I feel like you've been so intentional about protecting your space, especially right now. That I mean, one, I commend you. I can like feel it. I can feel the positivity from you of just like you being like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not about to be stressing. I'm not about to be in none of that. I can literally feel it. And so to hear you say that, it's like, okay, because I've just been thinking like, okay, you haven't been dealing with anything, but it's intentional. That's why you've been in this space. Like you had to put these boundaries up. You've had to check people so you can stay in this positive headspace. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, the topic today, we're talking about healing outside the therapy room. I actually started going to therapy a little bit more because the issues that have been coming up, I've been like, yeah, no, I need to have my therapist involved in this. So that's been really helpful for me.
Yeah. Okay, so you checking some people.
Oh girl, yes.
Oh my goodness. But what are some, I mean, when you we talk about healing outside the therapy room. So, well, one, obviously, I do think that therapy is amazing. And one of the things that I always tell my clients is like, I give homework after every session, no matter what we're working on, no matter what client. I don't care if we're coming in and you just trying to get adjusted to a new career or whatever it is. You get homework. And you get homework because I feel like that you need to be putting these things into place outside of sessions. A lot of times people come to sessions and they're just talking, which is beautiful, right? Talk therapy we know can be helpful just in releasing, reflecting, processing, all those good things. But if we talking about something and then you leave and you go back and you do the same thing, then it's really not as effective. So this episode is really talking about what happens outside that room when you leave therapy, right? What are some things that you're doing? And so for me,
but you didn't do a check-in for you. Yeah, exactly.
What I didn't do?
You didn't do a check-in for you. Try to skip over
it. I'm healing out stuff now. The check-in for me, I've been in I think this whole year this is a transition year. This is one of those years my daddy would be like, yep, this is a growing pain. Like, y'all know when people say that shit is real. Like it's and it's sometimes people are like, oh, it's only last. No, this whole year it's been a growing pain. Ain't no months, the whole year. But I do feel like that I'm figuring out different ways to grow in pain, but in the best way, I guess you can say. Like sometimes you can't necessarily take it away. That experience has to be it has to happen. And so this last month I just been incorporating a lot of different like mental wellness things, consistent mental wellness, because I think too sometimes we'll start doing something and you'll start feeling better or you'll start being like, okay, and then you stop doing it and it's like, okay, well, how about you be consistent? Even when you feel better, keep doing it. So therefore, when things do come up, because they will come up again, because it's just life, you already have some practice and you have some skills that you know you can continue practicing. So that's what I'm really trying to do. Like, I'm literally doing something every single day that involves my mental wellness, something as simple as, you know, watching the sunset, right? Our sunrise, decluttering spaces, like just very intentional. Every day I'm doing something different though, just so I can make sure I'm keeping myself in a positive headspace. But overall though, I've been pretty good. I necessarily can't complain.
Okay.
But thanks for checking in. Okay. But what was I saying before Myra interrupted me, y'all?
You were saying how it's important to make sure that we are doing work outside of the therapy room and how you make sure that you give your clients homework.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm a prime example. You just heard what I said. I'm not consistent. And so I get it. You know, we'll come to therapy or whatever, even if you're not in therapy, maybe you're in a support group, which is also some forms of therapy. And then you leave and, you know, you don't do what you said you was going to do. It could be something as simple as putting up boundaries. If you say, I don't want to go out on the weekend. If people ask me, I'm going to say no. And then the weekend comes and you don't put up the boundary that you said you was going to do, then it's like, okay, then you, at this point, you're just talking. And at this point, you're aware of what you need to do, but you're not putting it in place. And even when you put it in place, just because you do it once, it does not mean it's over. You know, you have to consistently do it for it to be like an effective change and for you to see some differences. And unfortunately, sometimes, especially with boundaries, when we put up boundaries, unfortunately, it means that sometimes we lose those people. Sometimes those people no longer fit our life because their relationship becomes different. So then that's a whole nother thing that then you have to kind of navigate of like, okay, I put this boundary up. Now this person is no longer in my life. And how do I deal with that? I know recently, this is kind of a tangent, but I had watched this video about how friendship sometimes, and that's why I'm saying sometimes, it's not like this for all friendships are for everybody, but sometimes losing a friend is more hurtful than losing a partner, like a romantic partner. And when I watched this video, it like hit different I was just like, dang. Like,
it's a video. Who's it by?
Her name is Chelsea Chess. I forget. She used to do those videos on.
Lee?
Yes, her.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just literally her reflecting on her own story. Like, right. So it's not her coming from like a healthcare professional, nothing like that. She just talk about, because she got a divorce. And she was with that man for a minute, right?
But she cut her hair off, right?
Yep. And she got a divorce, and then she also talked about losing a friendship, and she pretty much was saying this friendship was way more hurtful than even my divorce, which is why
I saw this video. Is it old?
No, it's not that old.
I feel like I saw it.
She got so many videos just of, all different type of stuff. So maybe it was different. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I had never seen it if it was. And she had posted on her Instagram. And I just had never thought about it like that, of like, I guess I haven't had any friendships that I've lost where it's felt the way that she's explained.
Me neither.
But I can't imagine like being friends with someone, especially the older we get, for these long periods of time. And then you start changing, right? We start changing, you start growing, and then y'all no longer fit each other. And this person who knows you from, childhood or, adolescenthood or whatever, no longer is in your life.
I don't know. Because when people talk about like letting go of friends and like growing apart and losing friendships, I just think for me, because my friends are so important, I'm not going down without a fight. So if I feel like this friendship was so tight, if I feel like we are growing apart, I want to figure out how can we kind of build a bridge to work things out. Like the same way you would in a relationship. You're always trying to figure out how to work things out because this is your life partner. But I think of my friendships in the same way. And I even joke with my friends, like when they post stuff like that, like they'll be like, yeah, sometimes you outgrow friends and stuff. Every time I see one of my friends post it, I'd be like, yeah, try to outgrow me. Like as a joke though. And I'm not saying we can't outgrow each other, but what I'm saying is I'm willing to do the work to make sure that our friendship is sustained. And I feel like I choose friends who would do the same thing. So while I agree, like you can outgrow people, sometimes you drift apart. The friends I have right now, try and do that. You ain't going nowhere.
I feel that, but I also feel like it's most definitely, it's obviously not just you, right?
Yeah.
You can have this stance, but if you are putting in this work and the other person's not, which gratefully it doesn't sound like that's happened, but it could and inevitably and probably will happen, where you're like, I want to keep this friendship, but I can only do so much myself. If this person, somebody may feel like that they have grown from you and they don't want to put in that work to figure it out, especially when you become an adult and you have all these other different pieces of your life and you feel like this is not even that important to me. And that's really what it comes down to. But like, I'm a firm believer of that too. Like if we're friends and if we're no longer friends, I've tried, or we've had a conversation. It wasn't just like we're not friends anymore. Like it did not make sense, for my life. But I don't know. But I think we start talking about that because we're talking about boundaries and how pretty much a lot of times boundaries, that's actually where you lose relationships. Like, period. And we talked about friends, but I think it goes for parent. Oh my goodness. I've been having so many people around me who just like don't want to talk to their parents. And I've been like, wow, like the generational switch, and like adults standing up and saying like, no, I don't, yeah, you're my parent, but I'm not talking to you. It's scary, but it's also like, dang, it's just different to hear. But a lot of times it's because the adult child puts in the boundary of trying to say like, this is what I don't want, or my mom, she always calling, complaining, or whatever it is, and it drains me, and she treats me like I'm her best friend, but I don't want, all these different things. And so you try to put in this boundary like, hey, can you not? And then, especially with the parent dynamic, the parent doesn't listen. then boom, it's like, I don't even want you in my life. And that's a big one, like the parents type of situation.
Yeah. I mean, my therapist literally told me, you choose how, because that's like what I've been like dealing with. Like, how do I like navigate boundaries with my parents? Where it's like, I want to just cut them off. But at the same time, I'm like, does that make sense for me to just cut them off? Or am I just really frustrated with them? And so my therapist was like, you get to choose how you allow them to show up in your life. And I was like, no, I don't. And then she like broke it down for me. Why? She's like, when they call you, you don't have to always answer. You can do check-ins how you want to do them. You can end conversations when you want. You can pick and choose when they come to your house or how you interact with them. And I've been really following through with that, and I've seen like a difference. But when we're talking about boundaries, it's making me think of this book that I've been really wanting to buy. It's really popular. It's called Set Boundaries, Find Peace by Nedra Glover. And I'm sure y'all have seen her on Instagram. She's like really popular for what she shares. But I say all that to say, I think that it's important to hear like other stories about people practicing boundaries and like reading about it, because it's hard. Like, it's easy to say set boundaries, but it's hard to actually follow through with it. So that's a book I want to read for myself. I'll probably listen to it on Audible. Um, but yeah, I highly suggest it. It's Set Boundaries, Find Peace by Nedra Glover.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I mean, talking about this right now, yeah, out healing outside the therapy room, I guess a lot of it does have to do with boundaries. Um, even boundaries within yourself. Because I mean, that, like, if you are trying to implement some type of growth or some type of change, then a lot of it has to be you putting it up with yourself. It might be like that, you don't want to do something, and so you have to make sure you don't do it. um I'm trying to think of some my
Yo, what were you about to say?
because I want to say that something that keeps me accountable is my friends, right? More than anything, my friends. I talk to my family and all of that stuff, but when it comes to like my daily life, because they're not here, I feel like my friends are more present when it comes to, like, if I'm like, you know what, y'all, I like, to me, when I'm going through something, I start cursing more. It's little stuff like that I start picking up on, right? Um, or if I'm like, okay, I need to get out the house more, I utilize my friends. Or right now I'm doing like a mental wellness challenge, and I'm doing like this little not eating sweets challenge type of thing. And so I'll utilize my friends, it's like accountability partners to kind of help, because sometimes you just can't do it yourself. Sometimes you can, and I'm prideful, and like, I do feel I can do a lot of things myself, but I can't do everything. And so I think healing outside the therapy room involves a community, and it sometimes it looks different. So sometimes it could be literally in your community. Maybe it's some type of, oh my goodness, y'all, I miss going to the library. I'm gonna go to the library in these next couple of weeks.
Wait, that was so random. What you mean you miss going to the library?
The library is such a good community. Like, the libraries be having so many free resources, and we be just not taking advantage of it, like, oh my goodness. We used to the library.
The library. Tia and Tamira showed up, and I was so confused.
Oh my goodness, what did they do? See, resource, what they do?
Because Fem Scholar, we used to meet at the Inglewood Library. This is when they actually have books there. I don't know if you know, but they don't have books there anymore.
They don't have books at the library?
They removed like a majority of the books.
Because
they have 3 levels. What did you say?
I'm not going to the library then, because what kind of library don't have books?
Yeah, I was very confused. They removed most of them. I don't know if they removed the other portion or why they did that. But anyway, we used to have our meetings at the library like once a year. And this one time, I just see a crowd of people coming. I'm like, where are they going? And then these kids sit down, and then Tia and Tamira walk in. I guess Tamira published like a kid's book, and Tia was supporting her. I was so confused, but I agree with you with the library. That used to be like my safe space. My favorite library was always the Compton Library, though, because it's so big, and they will always have like something going on. The English library can be a hit or miss. Like I said, they don't have books in there anymore. But I enjoy the library too. I like the Westchester library too. It's small, but it's very like cozy and community. So yeah, you making me think I'd love the library. But I
Yes.
don't see the library out here.
In San Diego?
Yeah, no, I don't really go. So I
Okay.
feel like in LA, like there's things to do at the library. Like
Right.
they'll have a calendar and it'll be like 5 different events for you to like check out.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
there's always something going on.
Yeah. I don't think I did go to, other than a school library in San Diego, I don't think I did go to the library there. I have been to a few libraries here though. But you're right, like you just said, like it's just like you said, when you go to that, I think you said Westchester or whatever it's called, you get like this community, this safe space, like just feeling like even when you by yourself, just like knowing there's other people who are in, who most of the time in the community, like utilizing this space. Then, like you just said, an event, say you're like, snap, I want to learn something new. A lot of times they'll have like art classes or, learn business, all type of free resources a lot of times too, or low cost.
Yeah. You're making me think actually, LACMA is doing a Black series where they highlight, is it Black? I have to look it up. But they're basically doing like different Black short films that there's it's called Black Joy and Resilience, and it's a film series. And pretty much they're taking like different films, Black films, short films, and showing them online. And I noticed they're swaying toward like highlighting Black and brown folks more. So I will highly suggest y'all check that out. Some of them look like they're going to be really good. I don't know how long it's lasting for, but I'm definitely gonna RSVP for some of them.
Okay. I mean, I kind of talked about my personal journey outside of therapy. What would you say some things that you feel like you do outside of therapy?
What do I do outside of therapy? My thing has been walking when I can, because I find that that's like a form of therapy. So that's been really helpful for me. And then also, I've been taking like a lot of breaks. I am trying to get my hours done, so I've been like overdoing it sometimes, but then now I just been like, I don't care at this point. Like if I need a break, I'm taking a break. So I think taking breaks to like reflect, taking breaks to take up space. And I think holding myself accountable, because I can have other people hold me accountable, but I feel like for me, I'm in a season where I got to do it myself, because that's how I actually like really follow through. So as far as like the boundary piece, I've been like reminding myself like, you don't feel good because you didn't uphold that boundary that you talked about that you wanted to do. So I've been checking myself in that type of way. So like even like thinking like if somebody calls me I don't want to talk to, do you really want to answer that call? Is there another time you can call them back when you maybe want to talk? So I've just been holding myself accountable pretty much. Which is hard, but I've been doing it.
I hear you. I hear that little voice, and I'm scared of her. So I'm pretty sure you you scared of your little voice too. That little internal voice.
For real.
Like, let me get you in check. Um, but so I mean, I think this episode for sure is needed. We talk about therapy all the time, and I mean, literally, we're therapists and we're advocates for therapy. But it's important to talk about what happens outside of therapy. So, I don't know, Myra, you have anything else you want to discuss about this topic?
I want to share a resource. So Donika was talking about kind of doing a challenge for herself every day. And there is this girl I follow on Instagram, and she does a 30-day intentional living challenge. She doesn't do them every month, but you can use old ones, which I like to use sometimes. Like I'll just pick something. And every day she has like things for you to do which are catered towards your mental health. Like for example, she has like make a soup from scratch, celebrate yourself lighting a candle and relax, get dressed cute today just because, give yourself a 10-minute massage, clear out a random space in your home, write a short love letter to yourself. So she has a bunch of different random things you can do that I really, really like. And she's only done, I think, like 2 or 3 of them, but I reuse the same old ones because, I mean, why not? So it's a good challenge.
What's that? What's the Instagram? Do you got it?
Her Instagram is LECMA. ARIELLE.
I'm sorry.
It's long. When I'm reading, I'm like, wait, huh?
Wait, okay.
Let me just share it.
As I say, yeah, we're gonna share it in the description, y'all. My brain
in my head, I'm like, I can share it. And then I started saying that. I was like, actually, no. What has been something you found that you like been that's random as hell, but you've been enjoying? Like, you know, Ear Hustle is back, so I've been enjoying that, and I got all my clients listening to it. So now they be like, "Did you listen to the latest episode?" And I be like, "Damn, yeah."
Girl, you know, I struggled watching it after what was his name? Night.
Arlon?
Yeah, well, Arlon, that's his name. Yeah, when he, you know, got released from prison and he wasn't on there no more, I stopped listening to it for a while. You know, you just get used to people.
He's on there now.
I went back and listened. I just started back listening literally last week. So, you know, I watch it. I listen from the bottom up. And so I'm literally on probably the one I'm listening to is pretty old. So it's going to take me a minute to get to the newest ones.
Yeah. Are you on the episodes where they're talking about they have a book?
No, the episode I'm on actually
far back. Never mind.
Yeah, no, like I know. I'm looking. Let me see. I you know, I don't know. Sometimes, like when I start listening to a podcast, I'll usually start with the first one, and then if I'm interested and it catches my attention, then I'll go back all the way to the first one.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is, like the read, like those, I try to listen to the more recent ones because they talk about popular culture, right? So it's like really what's happening. But if you know, if I listen to it, and those episodes are long, but if I have some time, then I'll go back and listen to another one. So the one I'm listening to on Ear Hustle is Sorry Means Nothing, and this one is April 15th. So that shows you how far back I am.
They took a long break though in between though, so you should be
they
fine.
did? So I ain't that far off.
Yeah.
But listening to it, yeah, I most definitely. I'm like, yes, I used to love this. Oh my goodness, Ear Hustle. It's so good.
So good. I like Vixen Memoirs is really good. Yeah, the Vixen Memoirs is really good. And it talks about like different like exploitation of Black women. It talks about murders of Black women. It talks about Black women who are like the queen pin. Like it's good. I cannot stop listening to it. And then they have like a book club. I ain't gonna lie, I don't really be participating, but I just be signing up for the free book.
It's called the Vixen Memoir.
Yes, it's good. When she first started off, her sound wasn't that great, but I could tell she invested in some like new equipment, and it sounds much better now.
Okay.
But it's good.
So these podcasts, you've been listening to your podcasts.
Only when I'm like in the car or like if I'm in the office, because I have been going to the office because it helps me focus a little bit. But yeah, or in the shower.
You can hear. Oh, you put it on your speaker.
Or I've been taking a lot of baths lately, so I'm not in the shower, in the bathtub.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love a good podcast for sure. What was the question you asked? I'm sorry, my brain is not working.
What's something you've been like engaging in outside of life stuff that you've been enjoying?
Well, you know, like I said, the mental wellness thing. So that's really, it's a 20-day challenge, the one that I'm doing. And I had some girl, some person put it on Facebook and was like, hey, I'm doing this challenge. You know, anyone want to join? And so I haven't been interacting with her, but I guess I just took that. I just took the challenge. I was like, I'm gonna do it. And so, I mean, every day, literally something different. I think, I don't know what today is, but yesterday was send 5 motivating messages to 5 different people. And so I intentionally chose people I don't talk to as much. And people who I knew could benefit from it. And when I tell you, me doing that brightened up my day, because the responses you get, especially when it's like a random message, because we don't never know what people are going through. Yeah. like everybody, they was just so happy. And, and this is through text. I didn't even call. This is, so I can only imagine if this was a call, but this was just through text message. And it just made me feel so good of just like, oh, I'm so happy I could do that for somebody,
Yeah.
and that they receive it too. So I was just like, dang, something as simple as that can change like your whole day. That's wild when you think about it. But so just all the different things on this little 20-day thing is, yeah, it's really helpful. I haven't been doing, I was going to like like pole dance classes and my little twerk classes and stuff, but I'm kind of bored with it. So I might be doing something else. I get bored with stuff, and then especially when it comes to like, oh, sorry, yeah. When it comes to like movement, exercising, and working out, because I don't like to traditionally work out, so I'm always trying to figure out different ways to keep my body moving. But sometimes I get bored of stuff, so I'm bored. I'm gonna find something else to do, because yeah, I think I'm a little done with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just been working. I guess I work more now because I got a second little gig thing, but I still don't work a lot, y'all. It's so interesting. This is the least I've ever worked in my life, and it's so strange.
Good.
Yeah, it is, but it's just strange not to be as productive.
Not to be as busy.
Productivity is not always good either. Yeah. Yeah, it's different. It's different not to be as busy. Like it's weird, but I am taking it in. I'm taking it in, and we'll see how it goes from here. Because I'm one to pack my schedule when it gets like this. Of like, nope, it's too much free time. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. I'm about to get a third job working at hospital nighttime. I'm one of those. So, I have not did that yet. And so I'm gonna try my best not to.
Well, I think that's it for today's episode. Hope y'all enjoyed it.
Yes. We are hoping that y'all listen to this and be more reflective on what are y'all doing outside of the healing outside the therapy room. And when we post and share this, share y'all tips, share y'all things y'all doing.
Yeah, we want to hear it all.
Yeah, it can help us, it can help somebody else. So yeah. All right, y'all. See y'all next week.
So, y'all, we have to shout out our friends over at Fiverr. We are officially a Fiverr affiliate. And I love Fiverr because you can literally go to them for any type of project you might want to work on, whether it be if you need a new logo, you need help with the resume, you need help with social media. They help you over there. So, go ahead and check out our friends over at Fiverr. That's 5ERR. So, 5 with 2 R's at the end. So, go ahead and check them out with the link in our bio and tell them that we sent you.